You're driving normally when the timing belt suddenly snaps. The engine may stop in an instant, but inside, parts that were perfectly synchronized are now moving directly into each other's path. So which components collide first, and how can one broken belt destroy an entire engine in seconds? We're going to look inside and follow the collision from the moment the belt breaks to the damage left behind. To understand the collision, you first have to understand the incredibly precise dance that the timing belt exists to protect. Inside your engine, two sets of parts are moving constantly, and they must never, ever touch. The first set is the pistons, sliding up and down inside the cylinders. The second set is the valves, small doors at the top of each cylinder that open to let air and fuel in, and open again to let exhaust out. Here's the critical part. The pistons rise all the way to the top of the cylinder, and the valves, when open, drop down into that same space. They are sharing the same tiny volume, taking turns. It only works because their timing is choreographed with breathtaking precision. The valve must always snap shut and get out of the way a fraction of a second before the piston arrives. Every cycle, thousands of times a minute, the piston charges up into a space the valve has just cleared. It is a perfectly timed dance where the dancers pass through the exact same spot but are never there at the same instant. And the one part keeping that entire dance in sync is the timing belt. So let's see exactly what that belt does, because its job is what makes the whole thing possible. The pistons are driven by the crankshaft at the bottom of the engine. The valves are opened and closed by the camshaft at the top. The timing belt is the toothed band that physically links those two shafts together, forcing them to turn in perfect lockstep. As long as that belt is intact, the camshaft and crankshaft spin in exact synchronization, and the valves and pistons keep politely taking turns. The belt is the choreographer. It's the single component ensuring the valve is always out of the way before the piston arrives. And now you can probably already feel what's coming when that belt is suddenly gone. Here's the instant of failure, and it happens with no warning at all. The belt snaps, and the moment it does, the camshaft, which controls the valves, immediately stops turning. But the crankshaft, with all the weight and momentum of the car's spinning engine behind it, keeps going for several more rotations before everything winds down. And this is the catastrophe. The pistons are still charging up and down at full speed, but the valves have frozen in place, and some of them are frozen while hanging open, down in the space the pistons are about to slam into. The careful choreography is gone in an instant. The valve that was supposed to leap out of the way no longer gets the signal to move. It just sits there, open, directly in the path of a piston traveling at enormous speed. The dance has become a collision. And now for the question at the heart of this video: what actually hits what? The answer is that the pistons collide with the open valves, and the valves lose. A piston is a thick, heavy slug of metal driven by immense force. A valve is a thin, slender stem with a flat head, comparatively delicate. When the rising piston smashes into a valve that's hanging open in its path, the valve doesn't stand a chance. The valves are almost always the first and primary casualties. They get bent, snapped, or hammered sideways in an instant. This is why, in this kind of failure, the valves are the parts that take the first and worst of the hit. They were simply in the wrong place, with no time to move, in front of the heaviest, most powerful component in the engine. But here's the crucial thing: the single most important concept in this entire subject, because it decides whether a snap belt is a minor inconvenience or a destroyed engine. Not every engine suffers this collision, and the difference comes down to one design choice. Engines fall into two families. The first is called a non-interference engine. In this design, even if the belt breaks and the valves freeze wide open, the pistons physically cannot reach high enough to touch them. There's built-in clearance. The dancers never actually share the exact same space, so if the music stops, they just halt. No contact, no damage. The belt breaks, the engine stalls. You get it towed, you replace the belt, and the engine is completely fine. The second family is called an interference engine, and this is the dangerous one. In this design, engineers made the engine more efficient and powerful by allowing the pistons and valves to share the exact same space, relying entirely on perfect timing to keep them apart. In an interference engine, when the belt breaks, collision isn't a risk, it's a near certainty. And the majority of modern engines are interference designs, precisely because that design squeezes out more performance. So whether a broken belt is a cheap tow or a wrecked engine depends almost entirely on which of these two your car has, and that is absolutely something worth knowing before it ever happens. That explains what collides and why some engines are doomed while others aren't. Now let's follow the failure backward, because a timing belt almost never snaps out of pure bad luck. There's usually a reason. The most common cause is simply age and neglect. A timing belt is a wear item made largely of reinforced rubber, and rubber does not last forever. It slowly dries out, cracks, and weakens with time and heat. This is why every manufacturer specifies a replacement interval, a mileage or age at which the belt must be swapped out before it fails, and blowing past that interval is the number one reason belts break. The second cause is a failure of the parts around the belt. The belt runs on tensioners and idler pulleys that keep it tight and guided. If one of those bearings seizes or a tensioner lets go, the belt can be thrown off or shredded instantly, even if the belt itself was still in good shape. This is exactly why a proper timing belt job replaces the tensioner and pulleys at the same time, not just the belt alone. And the third cause is contamination. An oil or coolant leak dripping onto the belt can degrade the rubber and make it slip or fail early. So a snapped belt is often the final result of a leak or a worn pulley that was quietly setting the stage. So let's assemble the whole chain, from the unseen problem to the wreckage. It runs like this. The belt ages past its limit, or a pulley seizes, or a leak eats away at the rubber. The belt snaps. The camshaft stops, but the crankshaft coasts on. The valves freeze, some of them open in the piston's path. The pistons, still hammering up and down, slam into those open valves. The valves bend and break, and if the damage is severe, or the engine keeps turning long enough, it cascades. Bent valves can strike the pistons and gouge them. Broken valve pieces can rattle around and score the cylinder walls. And in the worst cases, the damage reaches the cylinder head itself. What began as a rubber band giving way ends as a repair bill involving valves, pistons, and the cylinder head, sometimes exceeding the value of the car. All from a part that, replaced on schedule, is one of the cheaper pieces of maintenance you'll ever do. And that contrast is the most valuable takeaway in this whole video. Because the timing belt is a wear item on a known schedule, this is one of the most preventable catastrophic failures in your entire car. The single smartest thing you can do is find out two things about your specific car. Whether it has a timing belt at all, some engines use a timing chain instead, which is designed to last much longer. And if it does have a belt, what the replacement interval is, then replace it on time before it breaks, not after. A scheduled timing belt replacement is a routine, planned expense. A snapped belt in an interference engine is a sudden, brutal one, often many times more costly. There is almost no other maintenance item where being proactive versus reactive makes such an enormous financial difference. And unlike oil pressure or a slipping transmission, a timing belt usually gives you no warning at all before it goes, which is exactly why the schedule, not the symptom, is what you have to trust. That is what happens inside an engine when a timing belt snaps. From a perfectly timed dance of pistons and valves, to the choreographer vanishing in an instant, to valves frozen in the path of pistons that show them no mercy, a collision decided entirely by your engine's design and prevented entirely by a service you can schedule in advance. If this helped you understand what happens when a timing belt breaks, go ahead and subscribe for more car breakdowns. Next, we can break down the difference between a timing belt and a timing chain, how the valves and camshaft actually control your engine's breathing, or how to read the maintenance schedule your car is quietly counting on. The more you understand what's happening under the hood, the better decisions you can make as a car owner. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.